it shows, and let him choose the restaurant or let him choose the activity, and that'll show that his heart is valued, that he's the beloved son. So anyway, good book about preventing the culture from influencing your kids, monitoring the internet, monitoring the TV watching, and it gives practical suggestions. So this is a good book. Bringing Up Boys, classic by James Dobson. This book here called Family Man, and by the way, some of these books are on the last page. I mentioned some sources. Sorry, I should have said that at first. On the very last page, on the bottom. Family Man, Family Leader. This is a book by a guy who's in favor of biblical patriarchy. You're thinking, that sounds scary. But the idea is that fathers should be very involved in their child's education. Child should be very involved in raising, in the devotional life. Oftentimes, the mother will be only one who does the devotions, that the father should be very active and roll up his sleeves and get dirty in the devotional and the educational life. And the father's the leader. So you think, oh, this is the father the leader, what? But I think there's some good things to be said about this, because I think we are called to be leaders, servant leaders. Great book. Debbie talked about, she read this one, Shepherding a Child's Heart by Ted Tripp. Real quick, the idea is that a child's heart and values are more important than the behavior. You can have the perfect angel kid who always obeys you, but is it just because he or she is scared? The idea that the heart is the most important. So when you correct with the heart in mind and not just the behavior. So this might be the idea here, is that you have a family vision statement, or you have and we heard this at Battle Cry, you have a family motto in a sense, and that you are, so it's not just, oh, little Johnny, stop kicking your brother. It's like, that has violated that we are going to love each other in the family. And so you make it positive, and you worry about the heart just as much as the behavior. And then the last two are the Way of the Wild at Heart, which we've talked about, the stages of the masculine journey. And we're going to talk about masculine initiation now. And he gives 2 chapters on how he initiated his boys into manhood, Christian initiation. So we're going to talk more about this. And then his book, Wild at Heart, it's the idea that that every man has a wound in his heart, and that he needs to get healing from God the Father. It's the idea that as much, your wife is wonderful, and you have to have your support, and your wife can bring healing, but ultimately that healing comes from that wound, comes from God the Father. So these are recommended books. Okay. All right. Okay, so Pastor Ed, are you ready? So we are now on page 2, part 2, Masculine Initiation for My Son. We've got a skit here, Pastor Ed and I, and I didn't give him a lot of time, so I'm sure you'll give him a lot of grace for our acting. But anyway, tell why or how this is effective as a masculine initiation, or maybe how it's not effective and how it could be improved. Okay, so you guys be our your critics here. Okay. Hello, class. I'm substitute teacher Floyd. This is my first time with you here at LIC in the youth group. Let me look at my sub-plans here. Okay. Yes, is there a little Johnny here? Little Johnny. Here, anyone? Little Johnny? Little Johnny? Little Johnny?
That's me.
Oh, okay, thank you. It's about time. What was your name again?
Little Johnny.
Oh, okay, that's right. It was on my paper. Yeah, okay. Okay, little Johnny, I need to talk to you. Little Johnny? Little Johnny? Hey, can you put down that video game?
Yes.
Okay. Today I'm going to initiate you into manhood.
What?
Today you become a man.
I do? Cool. How do I do that?
I will lead you in an ancient ceremony. It is very demanding. It has been a tradition in our land for many years. Will you put the video game away? Okay. Are you ready to begin the physical test?
I think so.
Okay. The ceremony will now begin. Little Johnny, your first act is the demanding rub your head and pat your tummy at the same time test. Begin.
Can I do that one at a time?
Okay, I guess so.
Okay. Rub my head.
Very good. Congratulations. You just passed the first test. Let me see what's next here. Oh, yes. Now the spiritual test. Are you ready? Little Johnny, are you ready? Little Johnny!
Okay, you don't have to yell.
Are you ready for the spiritual test?
I guess so.
What does John 3:16 say?
What?
You know John 3:16?
I have no ideas. I'm not very good at math.
Okay then. We still need a spiritual component though. How about another question? Who wrote the book of John?
Can I have a hint, please?
Your name?
Little Johnny?
Shorten it.
Little.
Shorten it, the other one.
Johnny?
Shorten it.
John.
That is correct. You pass. Let me give you a certificate of manhood now. Here you are. How does it feel to be a man?
Good. I've got a question.
Yes?
Can I go back to playing my video?
Go ahead. Okay. Okay. So, why was this not very effective in bestowing manhood upon little Johnny here? What are some observations?
Little Johnny is not ready.
Little Johnny is not ready. Absolutely, he's not ready. Yeah, that's the most important one. What other? There's a couple other things. What about substitute teacher Floyd? Did he have a really good knowledge of little Johnny? Yeah, okay. That's a ridiculous idea. Okay. So, substitute teacher Floyd, someone with no relation, who didn't really understand it, who didn't believe in it, tried to do an initiation on Johnny, and Johnny's parents weren't involved and everything. So, obviously not a very good idea. Okay. Did you get the video working? Okay, so we do have a video, and this is true life of another kind of masculine initiation here. And hopefully you'll be able to hear it.
Meet the bullet ant. Its sting is said to be the most painful on Earth. Some liken it to being shot with a bullet. But you're about to see people stick their hands into gloves, swarming with these nasty creatures. Among the Sature Moe tribe of Brazil, it's how boys become men. And for these young initiates, the painful moment is at hand. The ants have been gathered from the forest, then drugged, then placed, stinger first, into woven glove liners. Now, as the ants writhe in angry desperation, the ravaging begins. One by one, the young men suffer the shock of having dozens of stingers penetrate their flesh. They must wear the gloves for 10 minutes. Their agony is unmistakable.
The pain is incomparable, understand? There's no pain like it.
Have you ever had your hands on fire? It's the same thing.
And this moment's not over. Once the gloves are off, the stinging and burning only grow more excruciating. As the venom turns their hands into swollen, simmering, paralyzed stumps,